Hello, my name is Larry Martin and I'm a solutions consultant with Beyond 20. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to create dependent tasks inside of Cherwell 8 and higher. And this is an update to a previous video we have showing how to do this in Cherwell 5.11. So what we mean by this is you may have instances where you want to have tasks created on an incident, but you don't want the second task or third task to be able to be worked on until the first task has been completed. Now you can do this for any number of levels. You could have 5 tasks dependent upon one another, or 4 tasks dependent upon a single task. So an example might be that if you've got a virus outbreak in your environment, you want to make sure that you get that machine and you want to disconnect it from the network, or you want to contact your NOC and have them disable the network port. That way the virus doesn't spread from that machine to others in your environment any more than it's already done. And then you do not want that machine's port to be re-enabled until all the cleanup work has been done. Either the machine's been cleaned and you're satisfied that it's clean, you might have forensics that has to be done, or you re-image the device. Ultimately though, you want to have a task kickoff that says, hey, close this port down, and then you do not want the port to be able to be opened back up until the prior task has been completed. So there are a couple things that we need to make sure of. Out of the box, there's an automation process that we need to make sure is enabled. So under our individual automation processes in the Orange client, the administrator tool, we'll sort by business object, and under task we want to make sure that the activate dependent tasks is enabled. So what this is an out-of-the-box automation process that watches for a parent task to go to the status of closed, and then any child tasks or related tasks will then have a logical on them called dependency met enabled to true or set to true. So it's important to just come into the automation processes and make sure that activate dependent tasks automation process is enabled. It is not enabled out of the box. Once you've done that, then we're going to go ahead and create a incident with some tasks. And notice that I'm going to incident in my associations. This is going to come into play here in a moment, because what I've done is I've built a one step here, and you may or may not be aware of this. But in this one step, I'm creating an incident. Now I don't want to have to be on an incident or in the incident object to be able to run this. I want to be able to do it from the dashboard or wherever. So to make that happen, under the conditions of my one step, I can check this box, allow one step to be run even if no current record. That way, if I'm on my home page or dashboard, or if I'm in task or I'm over on problem or whatever else, I can run this and create that incident with the task. Now I've filled out quite a few fields for this one, including the owned by team, the customer display name, etc. But you might want to do something similar to this without all the information filled out, or maybe for a customer you want to do a prompt so that you can have this one step available anywhere in the system. And if you're over working on a change or a problem or even a knowledge article and you get a call in, you could have this one step available to create this set incident type and these generated tasks. So just wanted to call that out. By going to the conditions of the one step itself, you can allow it to be run even if you don't have a current record. So this, I'm just creating a basic incident, filling out some details. Now here, it's important that we make this record current. We're going to create a task, and in this task, its fields are description And I'm going ahead and setting the owned by and owned by team for the demo, and then status and title. The reason I'm setting these is so I can more quickly walk through closing this task out. Now remember, I said we want to make this record current, and that's because here in our variable, so we're going to update a variable here, and I'm calling it remove cable ID, because what I'm really doing is I'm getting the record ID of this task. So where the make current record comes into play is when we're here, we're on the incident object, but we want to grab from the incident object task the current record, and that's why that's the current record. So under task, we want to grab its rec ID, which is here. The reason for that is in this second task, in order to set a dependency, we need, under dependency, depends on rec ID. We need the rec ID of the parent task in this field on the subtask. And that's how you make a dependent task. In this task, we also fill out description, the owned by team, owned by, and title. So let's go ahead and run this. When we run it, notice I'm on my global dashboard. We now have a new incident, and we have 2 open tasks. So we can go ahead and start this task, work it, complete it, etc. But notice on this task, the dependency has not been met. Oh, well, in order for us to work on the second task, we have to actually process this one, take it to closed, and we have to wait a few minutes for our automation process to run. Now that our automation process is ran, we no longer have that no dependency has not been met, and we have our status and can move it into the next statuses. Now we have our dependency met, so the banner goes away. We are able to move our status, so we can acknowledge, set in progress, and close our second dependent task. Anyhow, I hope this information has been useful. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We produce these videos every week. Have a great day.